enabled. WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future.
Hello and welcome to our special series, WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future. Joining us on the show is Aniket Jindal. He's co-founder and COO BiConnect. Aniket, hi, thank you so much for joining us. In the last 1 month has been quite happening for you, especially with the new fundraise and also a new product launch. Let's start with that first.
Thanks a lot for having me, Manisha. Definitely last 1 month had been a bit hectic for us in like all the positive ways. Last 2 years of hard work's kind of paid off. A couple of things happened. We closed a private round. It was a $9 million round, and we managed to get one of the best investors in the world as a part of this round. And also, recently we launched a new product, Hyphen. So a lot of exciting things, at the same time, and pretty excited for what comes next. In fact, next 6 to 8 months are more hectic for us as there's a lot of new product launches and announcements coming.
Aniket, you've spoken about a whole host of things and we will dwell deeper into each one of them. But let's start with the money first. And $9 million is what you've raised via private funding. What is the plan? How are you going to put all of this money into use?
This came a bit earlier because we raised our seed round back in Q4 last year. It was $1.5 million round. And this in the 6 months, we saw crazy number of transactions and growth happening at BiConnect. So we managed to raise another round. So this was $9 million round. Bain Capital, Coinbase, Mechanism, DSM, all with the part of this round. And the priority for this is we'll be launching our token soon. So this is a pure token round, and we have plans to expand a team, and there's like two product offerings, that'll be coming from our side in the next couple of months. So yeah, pretty excited. Also plan to launch our token by end of this Q4, like by end of Q4. So yeah, that's where all our heads are at, and everyone is kind of working day and night for that.
Aniket, you work towards decentralized application, blockchain applications. What has been your sense? Because in the recent few months, we've seen a lot of players come into this space. What is the kind of acceptance that you are seeing, growth, the number of transactions, etc.? If you could put light on all of that.
Definitely. I think from last mid-summer 2020, the DeFi summer and NFT summer, kind of changed the entire landscape of crypto. When we started back in 2018, getting hundreds of users to any application was a big milestone. And that was like one of the major pain points for every application out there, that how do they get users? Okay, we have all these protocols, all these different blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygons of the world, but applications were not getting users at all. And this was like every developer, every entrepreneur at that time was struggling to kind of solve for that problem. And that's how BiConnect got started. We studied the Web2 landscape quite deeply, and we kind of saw how Web2 kind of scaled, how we're seeing millions of users on YouTube, Spotify, Airbnb, etc. And what can be learned and incorporated into Web3, like in crypto space. And that's something we've been doing for the last 2 years. Our main target has been developers only, and we're trying to solve for the developer level problem so that we can make mainstream adoption of crypto easily. And anyone, whether it's my sister, whether anyone who's not crypto native, can use all these applications. Definitely, last 1 year has been quite a boom for the entire space. We saw a lot of DeFi applications, a lot of NFT applications coming up, and one of the major reasons for that is infrastructure, like stuff that we are trying to do, and also there are a lot of other companies trying to solve for end user level problems, so that all the blockchain complexities can be removed from end users, and you are able to use any application like you do a normal Web2 application. We saw crazy number of applications coming up, even on BiConnect. When we launched, we were just doing like hundreds of transactions on a daily basis, but right now, we're doing somewhere close to 50K daily transactions, and we also reached 50 million API calls in the last 6 months. So crazy number of the stats that we're seeing. There are currently 30 plus live applications using BiConnect, and our main vision is how we can make a blockchain more usable and remove all the backend complexities involved in it.
I was reading a quote by you somewhere that getting on board billion customers is what perhaps you're looking to do. We've come a long way from permissionless, not a long way, but from permissionless to gasless to ERC20 tokens, etc. the run-up or the speed of evolution has been very strong, very great, very fast. But have people been able to accept all of that in this run?
Initially, of course, it was kind of a big problem, and still, I think we're not there completely because to use blockchain application, it's a great learning curve. It takes like a few days to get used to private keys, wallets, gas fees, etc. I mean, and also on the top of it, you have to pay gas fees for every transactions. So these are kind of the learning curves required for anyone to use blockchain application. And going back, Web2, let's say if you have to use Spotify or YouTube, and you have to pay for every song you listen, or you have to pay for every video you listen, you won't have seen like millions of users and adoption happening over there. So same as with crypto as well. Initially when we were launching, dApps developer were reluctant to pay for the gas fees because gas fees are super high, and it was part of the end users to learn themselves to pay for it. But now recently in the last 1 year, we've seen all the dApp developers want to pay for the gas fees and make it extremely simple for the end users to use their application. So and with the coming change, Polygon and other L2s where gas fees are extremely low, all the developers are actually willing to pay and subsidize the fees. So acceptance has been happening, and now developers are more focused on the core product rather than solving the infrastructure level problems. So it was like a good learning for everyone in the space, because back in 19, developers used to spend a lot of time building the infrastructure layer that was not related to the core product offering. So they were building all these tools and other stuff that is not actually was related to the core product offering. But folks like us came into play, and we're like, okay, you just focus on the core product offering, you focus on your users, you focus on their product, and all the infrastructure level problems will be something that we are taking care of. And given that, we're seeing number speaks for itself, how users are using our products, and how user-centric all the developers have become over the last several months.
Clearly. And the buzzword right now in the markets is Web 3.0. How do you look at the transition or the gap between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0? What is the kind of acceptability there? And how do you see that changing the way blockchain as an industry runs right now?
Yeah, I think buzzword definitely Web 3.0. Everyone is kind of psyched about what's coming next. But Web 2.0, as you can see, is a normal centralized model where you have a centralized server controlling everything, and everything that goes wrong is like a single point of failure over there. And we have already seen with a lot of applications what can go wrong, and with data breaches also, with random applications that what are the kind of dark side of Web 2.0. But Web 3.0 is where you give like ownership to the community, you have different stakeholders involved in it, and the sort of perks that we are getting, at least in the DeFi and the NFT community, is something. It's just at the beginning, It just like, I think there's 68 million active wallets out there right now, and given like how crazily the users have been signing up on exchanges and on all these wallets as well. So it's just getting started, and definitely users are getting more aware of the perks of how decentralized applications can change their normal daily lifestyle. Like even my mom right now, she wants to invest in DeFi because she knows like how much yield she can get. And if we see like more and more daily users getting to know about actual like how financial services work in a simple, possible, and less onboarding costs involved in that, it's something the dream that we all are kind of envisioning for. So I'm super optimistic and bullish on Web 3.0 and what comes next with that. With NFTs, it takes to a kind of a new landscape for all the artists and who are not recognized that well in the community. But now with NFTs coming into play, they can also get the market position that they should be earlier getting, that they were not getting earlier.
When we talk about getting easier products out, simplifying it, making it more mainstream, how have you seen a wider adoption of dApps or 3.0 coming together? What kind of products can the markets expect?
So exactly. So early on, when we were just getting started, the major products in the market were exchanges. You had, of course, WazirX, CoinDC kind of leading the space in Indian ecosystem. Users had only those sort of interaction with the blockchain, like buying and selling of cryptos. But as industry is maturing, as we have more infrastructure level tools, it has like wider scope in all the domains. We're seeing applications from DeFi that is like, if general audience doesn't know about it, it's decentralized finance, where we can have normal financial applications where you can probably use that as your personal bank, where you can save your money and get some interest out of it, and various operations such as borrowing and lending can be done over it. So that is already seeing in the market, and already like a lot of good players are kind of working on it. NFT applications, where artists can release their artwork, they can tokenize their songs, they tokenize their artistic work, is something already getting a lot of hyped up in the influencer marketing community, and also a lot of celebrities, such as Jay-Z, Soldier Boys are kind of on top of it. In fact, Paris Hilton kind of launched his own NFT. If you're not aware of it, Lionel Messi is getting paid in crypto, and is also launching his own NFT. So a lot of adoption is happening, and if we see like celebrities and media houses becoming spreading more awareness about it in the normal community, we're definitely going to see crypto becoming mainstream in the next couple of years.
Oh, well, absolutely. Amen to that. But with that, we'll need to stop for a very short break. When we come back, we'll talk about on the regulatory aspect of it all, and also how does India stand on the map of all of this after this short break.
WazirX and CNBC TV 18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future. WazirX and CNBC TV 18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future.
Welcome back. We are in conversation with Aniket Jindal of BiConnect. Aniket, we spoke about on what all are the possibilities there and the prospects that it would be accepted mainstream way earlier than what markets have been working with. But, I want to start talking about your native coin, first of all. How is the launch working? What is the work? What kind of token is it going to be?
We've been very product-centric from day one, and last 2 years, we didn't go the traditional kind of a crypto route where you can launch a token and get it traded in the market. So we always wanted to make a product first, get it out in public, let application use it, and then think of how decentralization and token can help us. So we had our own milestone that if we reach to X number of transactions per day, then it makes sense for us to decentralize it and have other stakeholders as a part of the network so that we can scale up well. So we reached this milestone back in March. It wasn't expected, but it just happened because of rise in crypto and how our product was validated in the market. So decided to decentralize our network, and we're launching BiConnect token. That is a utility token where we'll be allowing different stakeholders to work in the network, and they can be a part of the governance also in the ecosystem. So in the normal Web2 world, you have board members and advisory board and board kind of a seat where different people can make decisions regarding the future of the company. But here, people who will be holding BiConnect token can be a part of the governance and the future of the company. So that's how we're seeing BiConnect token come into play.
And then you also have a multi-chain relay protocol called MEXA. How does that work? How does that help the whole bandwidth or the whole future projects that you're working at?
So we spent 2 years building multi-chain relay protocol that we call MEXA. And so far, it has been working in a centralized way, where we are the one kind of relaying all the transactions, and everything is passing by BiConnect. As I said, it has a few cons where we are the one single point of failure. If anything goes wrong, it's just us to blame. Or tomorrow, let's say BiConnect shutdowns, the company, the relay protocol won't be in action. But now we want to expand it, and we want to decentralize it, where we want to have different stakeholders part of the network. People who believe in BiConnect, who believe in it, can be part of the relayers, and they can relay the transactions. So where we are not the only one doing all the transactions. We can have different stakeholders, whether it's investors, whether it's normal community people, whether it's application using BiConnect. They can be a part of the network and work over there. And after the work, they'll get some BiConnect tokens as a part of the reward. Pretty similar to how kind of a mining operation works on Bitcoin, but here we'll be using POS networks.
You had mentioned about Hyphen Net. How does that work? How does that help? And that's the latest product coming in from your bouquet. What is next?
Yeah, Hyphen. Very excited about Hyphen, and it's been a couple of days, and we have already relayed $1 million worth of transactions. Pretty excited about it. So as you're all aware of, we have different blockchains. We have Ethereum, we have Polygon, we have Neo, we have Near, we have Solana, and all these blockchains have their own kind of ecosystem and own way of working. So if anyone has to move asset from one blockchain to another, interoperability is a hell lot of a task. And from currently like Ethereum, let's talk about Ethereum and Polygon. So let's say if you have to transfer USDT or any other token from Ethereum to Polygon, it takes 15 minutes to transfer. And if you have to exit from Polygon to Ethereum, it takes 45 minutes to a few days. That's how it works. And it's definitely like not a user experience anyone would want to. Like if you want to transfer an asset, you have to wait for 15 minutes to make it happen. And maybe like it goes to some days. So with Hyphen, we made it instant. So you can instantly move assets from Ethereum to Polygon and to other chains moving forward, where anyone can move funds back and forth instantly. And we're doing it in the cheapest way possible.
Okay. And again, when you look at the regulatory part of it, I mean, that is something that the global markets are in conversation with. We keep hearing it in the Indian markets also on how there's a bill under consideration, and blockchain and fintech perhaps are the buzzwords that might get clearance and some other things as well with some clauses there. How are you reading various regulatory aspects and its impact on blockchain as you continue to raise money, continue to invest as well?
Yeah, regulatory, at least for Indian entrepreneurs and developers, has been a big concern for everything that's happening, and it's always top of our mind. I started personally in crypto back in 2017, when things were in the gray area, and everyone was kind of skeptical about how crypto is gonna emerge. And we also saw like a bill passed in 2018 regarding the future of crypto. Those 2-year time frame was actually kind of I'll say like a sad time for the entire industry, but they're like developers and many companies, like Polygon, as WazirX, etc. They kept on building. For the infrastructure, for the network, for the community. And soon, like 2020, we saw like revoking of that bill. Recently, we saw like a lot of government regulations and a lot of government authorities are very positive regarding crypto. And recent bill, as you might have seen also in the news, we are very optimistic about the passing of that bill and very carefully looking at it. But regardless, it's not stopping developers and entrepreneurs from building. Last 6 months, we've been part of all the hackathons globally, worldwide, and major developers are only from India, like in all the hackathons. And the number of companies and networks coming out of India over the last 1 year is something I never expected personally. So I'll say like on the regulatory aspect, I'm very bullish that definitely bill's going to pass in the favor of the entire industry. Regardless, it's not stopping developers from building for the technology, not from the trading aspect of it, because that's something we as developers and entrepreneurs, we're not very much aware of it or very much, care about that much.
When we look at India, and while you've answered my question within this answer itself, but when we look at the kind of investments or the DeFi pool itself, India basically is a very small part of it even now. How do you look at these kind of investments come into India? Apart from startups, developers, a lot of skill that is being worked on in Indian markets, how is the money looking to you?
So when we started in 19, for us to raise money from India was kind of an impossible task because there were no VCs out there. Only a few of them, Woodstock, etc. And even the global landscape used to look down upon Indian entrepreneurs just because of some, previous history and stuff. The last 6 to 8 months, every global VC is looking at India. They're setting up the Indian arms to invest in Indian projects, and few of them have already done that. Apart from it, traditional, VCs from India, Sequoia, Kalari, Elevation, etc. They're also very much looking into crypto. They have their own separate arms to study crypto, to talk to entrepreneurs. I've been on call with multiple, traditional VCs trying to understand the space, and so have been other projects as well. The global and the Indian landscape on crypto is definitely very, very bullish and very positive. I'll say for all the budding entrepreneurs and developers right now, if they want to build something, this is like the best time because, we're still at very nascent level, and you get all the support from investors, from the community, from the projects. So this is like one of the best times to be in the industry.
Also, how do you look at the acceptance of blockchain and various applications that are being worked upon right now? I mean, we've seen, I was just going through a list, and there are some top 60 countries in the world which already have an arm or a department or somebody, recruited to work on blockchain. A lot of stuff really has gotten onto blockchain as well. What is next from here on? Is it going to be more and more smart contracts, more scaling up of, work here on applications, etc.? What is really next in this space?
So I do see like two aspects of it. One is definitely we'll be seeing innovation happening in the space where there'll be like more Web3 applications, having different models of DeFi, NFTs. But one thing that I'm personally very excited about is traditional Web2 companies moving some part of operations on crypto. Already seeing it happening with Dolce & Gabbana and few luxury brands, LV and stuff. They are having some operations on blockchain. There are many to come. We've been in talks with few of them, already, and they do want to explore crypto and have some operations on crypto. So next, couple of years, I've been seeing traditional companies, or big MNCs, maybe like Infosys, Mahindra, etc., wanting to have some part, of the operation in crypto and leverage the technology that can revolutionize the financial space.
Final question to you, Aniket. What is BiConomy's plan going forward now?
So BiConomy's vision is, of course, to make crypto mainstream. We've been laser focused to make Web3 experiences simpler for anyone to use. As I've been already saying it. Our plan moving forward is, we want to expand Hyphen to other chains as well. It's currently on Polygon and Ethereum, but we want to expand to emerging chains and make the multi-chain ecosystem very seamless. Also, very excited about token launch. So that'll be something happening by end of this year, where we'll be introducing our own token and have more stakeholders as part of the network. Plus, there'll be like more use cases coming from BiConomy that can actually solve the transaction use case. We've been saying it for a couple of times. Consider BiConomy as Stripe of crypto, where we come in as this invisible middle layer, that is solving the transaction level problems in the space.
All right, that's a good one. Aniket Jindal, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for that conversation. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
WazirX and CNBC TV18 present Crypto, Digital Assets of the Future. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.